Good evening. An FA-50 fighter jet of the Philippine Air Force is currently missing. According to Philippine Air Force spokesperson Colonel Maria Consuelo Castillo, the fighter jet went missing after midnight on Tuesday, March 4. The fighter jet with 2 pilots on board was on a tactical night operation. Castillo says the FA-50 was supposed to land at Mactan Air Base in Cebu. However, the jet lost communication with one of its fellow aircraft minutes before reaching the target area. Castillo says the other aircraft repeatedly attempted to establish contact with the missing aircraft until their return to Mactan. Search and rescue operations are still ongoing. Castillo says the Philippine Air Force is hopeful that the missing personnel and aircraft will be located. The Philippine Air Force currently has 11 remaining FA-50s in its arsenal after retiring some of its fighters in 2005. All the FA-50s were acquired from Korea Aerospace Industries for 18.9 billion pesos during the administration of late President Noynoy Aquino. The government's outstanding debt rose to a new record high of 16.31 trillion pesos in January. Latest data from the Bureau of the Treasury shows the debt pile increased by 261 billion pesos month-on-month to 16.31 trillion pesos in January. Explaining the increase, the Treasury says local obligations rose to 11 trillion pesos. This accounts for the bulk of the total liabilities. Meanwhile, external debt grew to 5.23 trillion pesos. According to the Treasury, the state added more borrowings while the peso is weak against the US dollar. The government ended 2024 with an outstanding debt of 16.05 trillion pesos. The Commission on Elections is dismissing the disqualification case filed against senatorial candidates Ben and Erwin Tulfo for the 2025 elections. The First Division argues that the petition is insufficient in form. The poll body says that the petitioner failed to provide copies of the respondents' certificates of candidacy in the petition. According to the First Division, the COCs would have been vital in verifying information alleged in the petition. The Comelec says it cannot be verified whether the petition was properly served to the respondents. Comelec Chairman George Erwin Garcia reminds those filing petitions to ensure attachments are accurate, among other things.
Sana naman po yung mga magpapel sa Comelec lang na mga petisyon, sana lang laging sisiguraduhin na tama yung akusasyon, aligasyon, ground, at saka siyempre yung mga hinihingi na requirement ng filing fee at saka yung mga attachment. Kasi otherwise po, madidismiss ang petisyon, ang technicality, at hindi na po makakadako sa pagdidesisyon sa merits.
Garcia explains that attachment of a certified true copy of a COC is the most important document as this signifies that an individual is a candidate for the elections. He adds that a sufficient notice served to the respondent is one way by which the Comelec can acquire jurisdiction over the person. Aside from Ben and Erwin Tulfo, included in the disqualification case are ACT CIS Representative Jocelyn Pua Tulfo, Quezon City 2nd District Representative Ralph Wendell Tulfo, and Turismo Party List nominee Wanda Tulfo Teo. Petitioner Virgilio Garcia argued that the respondents are members of what he deemed as a political dynasty. Senator Risa Hontiveros questions why former presidential spokesperson Harry Roque remains elusive despite facing human trafficking charges. During a Senate hearing on Tuesday, March 4, Hontiveros expresses frustration over Roque's continued online presence while evading arrest.
And where, for God's sake, is Harry Roque? Bakit parang libre na lang siyang mag-post ng kung ano-ano sa social media na parang kinukutya pa ang administrasyon at mga otoridad natin while avoiding arrest for charges of human trafficking.
According to Hontiveros, her sources informed her that Roque flew from Dubai to Shanghai on December 8, 2024. He reportedly stayed in Shanghai for just 1 day and then traveled to Macau. During the hearing, Hontiveros asks if the Bureau of Immigration if they had any information on whether Roque had gone to China and Macau. However, Immigration and Intelligence Division Chief Fortunato Manahan Jr. says they currently have no validated proof regarding the matter.
Meron ba kayong information or validated proof na mula sa Shanghai na isang araw lang ang tinagal niya doon, tumuloy siya sa Macau?
Madam Chair, sorry, wala po kaming Pero meron po kaming alam na pumunta rin po siya ng Japan. And hindi po siya nakaalis. Supposed to be bound for US, pero denied flight, denied check-in. So, wala rin naman hong holdings ang Japan Police or Japan Immigration. Then after that, wala na po kami information.
Earlier, the Bureau of Immigration stated that Roque likely left the country through illegal means. Roque is implicated in the qualified human trafficking case against Cassandra Leong and several others. The case concerns alleged illegal activities of the Philippine offshore gaming operator hub Lucky South 99 Corporation. Roque has denied the allegations. The Philippine Navy slams the false claims on Chinese social media that the island of Palawan used to belong to China. At a press briefing, a Navy spokesperson for the West Philippine Sea, Rear Admiral Roy Vincent Trinidad, says such statements about Palawan are baseless and absurd. He also says the claims lack legal references. Trinidad notes that such false claims are part of the attacks in the information domain. According to Trinidad, everything is possible under an authoritarian state where social media is regulated by the government. Earlier, National Historical Commission of the Philippines refuted a post in Chinese social media platform Red Note claiming that Palawan was once Chinese territory. The National Historical Commission of the Philippines said historical fact clearly showed that the Philippines always had sovereignty over its archipelago and specifically Palawan. The commission emphasized that no other state contests that fact. The claims were made amid the continuous tensions between Manila and Beijing in the West Philippine Sea. Beijing asserts sovereignty in almost the entire South China Sea, including most of the West Philippine Sea. But a historic 2016 arbitral award effectively rejected China's sweeping claims and favored the Philippines. And these are the stories you need to know today. I'm Neil Mercado. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good evening.